If you want to make your own video games using Godot and you're struggling to understand how everything fits together, you're in the right place. Today, we'll break down the basics of Godot in simple terms that don't require any previous coding experience and can help you get started on your game dev journey. What is Godot? Godot is a free and open source game engine that allows you to create 2D and 3D games. It's beginner friendly but powerful enough for advanced users too. Because it's free and open source software, or FOSS, you don't need to pay to use it, and you'll never have to pay royalties if you sell the games you make with it. Godot's development is community driven, and anyone anywhere in the world can contribute new features and updates to its codebase. In fact, as of right now, there are over 2,000 individual contributors to the Godot GitHub repository, the Godot Interface. When you open Godot, you're greeted by the interface. Let's break it down. The main parts of the interface are the scene tree, the inspector, and the editor. The scene tree is where you can see all the stuff in your game, the characters, enemies, level elements, whatever you decide to make. The inspector lets you tweak different settings for the things you've added to your scene tree. That could be stuff like size, rotation, and color, for instance. The editor is where you can drag stuff around or write the code that powers your game. There's also the file system down here. This is where you can drag new files like images into your game and see any code or scenes you've already created. But once you've dragged in all your assets, to actually add anything to your game, you'll have to use nodes. Nodes. Nodes are the fundamental units in Godot, like individual Legos that you put together to make something cooler and bigger than a single Lego could be on its own. Everything you create is a node, literally everything. And there are many different types of nodes you can use for different purposes. For example, a sprite node displays an image, an audio stream player node plays sounds, and an animation player node plays an animation. You can group nodes together and save them to create a scene. Scenes. If nodes are like individual Legos, scenes are like individual buildings in a town. Each scene can be a level, a character, or even a button. You combine scenes together to make your game. Scenes can be nested inside each other, like a character scene inside a level scene, or they can live side by side in the scene tree, like a character and an enemy. Scenes are also reusable, so you can create one and use it over and over again in your game. Colliders. One type of node you're sure to run into are colliders. Get it? Anyway, colliders in Godot are like invisible balloons that allow objects to interact with one another using physics. Without colliders, objects would pass right through each other without any interaction. For instance, a player character needs a collider to detect when it hits the ground or an obstacle. Scripting. While this isn't a coding video, understanding scripts in Godot is crucial. Scripts add behavior to nodes. For instance, a script can make a character jump when a key is pressed, or die when they fall off a cliff. To create scripts, Godot uses a language called GDScript, which is easy to learn and uses tabs for formatting functions instead of brackets like some other languages. Inside most scripts, you'll find ready and process functions. The ready function runs when the node the script is on gets loaded, and the process function runs every frame in a loop over and over super quickly. So you might set up your character in the ready function while handling character movement would happen in the process function. Timers. Timers let you tell your game to wait a bit before running a script. This can be useful if you want to run something every few seconds instead of each frame, or to introduce a delay into your game. Particles. Godot's particle system is extremely easy to use and can give your game some flair and character that simply using sprites alone wouldn't provide. To use particles, just add a CPU particles 2D node to a scene and tweak the controls in the inspector until you get something you like. Creating a scene. Let's create a simple 2D scene. We'll start with a character body 2D node and add a sprite 2D node with an image to it. We'll add a collision shape so our player can interact with the environment. Much better. Now we'll apply the default character movement script template to him so we can move him around. Excellent. Signals. Signals in Godot are like messages. They allow nodes to communicate with each other like they each have a walkie-talkie. For example, a button can send a signal when clicked and another node can respond to it. Or maybe an enemy can be destroyed when hit by a laser. This is useful for creating interactive elements in your game. In our scene, we'll connect a signal from this Area 2D node to our player, so so he will die when he falls into the pit. Fantastic. Godot is free and open source software that you can use to create your own 2D and 3D games for free. It uses nodes for everything, and a collection of nodes can be saved as a scene and used over and over in your game. Anything in your game that needs to interact with something else will need a collider around it, and scripts determine what happens when colliders on the same layer hit each other. Timers and particles can help you add cool delays and effects to your game, and nodes can talk to each other using signals to trigger scripts that make things happen. So all that's left now is to dig in and get your hands dirty. That's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching.